Jurassic World star Bryce Dallas Howard says she was paid so much less for the trilogy than Chris Pratt, though co-lead helped negotiate deals on ancillary revenue. Well, ancillary revenue is how you make your money in that industry. Mm-hmm. So basically the idea here is, the world is awful and everyone should make exactly the same amount of money all the time. It says, around the time of Jurassic World, the Jurassic World sequel, Fallen Kingdom, in their 2018 release, reports surfaced of a pay gap amongst the film's cast, with Bryce Dallas Howard making $2 million less than co-lead Chris Pratt. However, will they survive? She made a total of $8 million for the 3 movies. Well, he made they said so he made $10 million for the 3 movies. What's funny about this is like he had just come off of like Guardians, right?
He's a bigger actor than she is.
A bigger
I don't
actor.
understand why this is confusing.
I didn't know who she was.
That's Ron Howard's daughter.
I didn't know who she was prior to this series. I couldn't tell you anything else.
I couldn't tell you what she was in.
She's great. She's beautiful, whatever. Yep. But Chris Pratt has been working and building for a long time. It's not surprising to me that he charges more per hour.
That would be like her making her directing debut and being mad that her dad makes more. It's like, your dad is Ron Howard.
Yep. She directs, too. She's done several Star Wars episodes.
I hate when they misconstrue the gender pay gap, which is supposed to be like equal pay for equal amount of work, which is already, misconstrued as it is. But like in this case, they're not doing equal work. He's the star of the movie. He also was better known, so he's not considered.
Yeah, this is the
person.
thing. If you're doing the same amount of work or you have the same amount of fame, like, yeah, dude, of course I want you to make the same amount of money. But it's, the WNBA. Like, they can't make as much as NBA players because nobody watches
They don't make any money.
Yeah, if people watched it.
That's literally funded through the NBA. The NBA basically subsidizes.
They have to. It's like the NBA's charity project.
She says, the reports were so interesting because I was paid so much less than the reports even said. So much less. She said said in the published piece earlier Monday, as part of the campaign for Jurassic World Threequel, Dominion's home entertainment release, when I started negotiating for Jurassic Park, it was 2014 and it was a different world, and I was at a great disadvantage. And unfortunately, you have to sign on for 3 movies, and so your deal's set. She should have negotiated for more. Mm-hmm. If she's not, then that tells you that it's got nothing to do with you. It's got to do with the role.
Yeah, guys, we didn't learn that women make less. We learned that women are worse negotiators.
Yeah, they are.
That is actually
This is like documented over and over and over again.
That is actually
I'm not even kidding.
I thought I was just making an edgy joke.
No, sociology beat you to it. This is like just the way it is. Women treat negotiations differently. They come into things. They don't approach asking for things the same way men do, and so it's just totally different. But she goes on to say that Chris Pratt is the one who was like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna help you in whatever way I can. I'm gonna negotiate for both of us." So like we're painting this as a like evil Chris Pratt, that Bible thumping white guy,
I actually
happened to earn more than sweet Bryce Howard. So annoying.
I did like 2 thumbnails where one talks about like her earning less and one talks about him coming to the rescue and helping negotiate for higher. So which one's worse? Is it worse that she earns less, or is it worse that the straight white male who's Christian came in and saved the day?
The thing is, it's not bad that she earns less because they are different. They bring a different amount of value to the table. They both are good, but like,
which is why they lock him down for 3 movies rather than than doing
also
one
like
at a time.
She's not earning less than like every man on set. Like who is she earning?
Right. If the dude who was like,
she's earning less than the lead actor, who is more famous than
who is the lead actor. If she was earning less than like the dude who makes the raptor noises, I'd be like, all right, this is a little insulting.
He's really good. He's got the cornerstone on his profession.
He's the thespian of the raptor world.
He's top dollar. I mean, you have to really pay for him.
You're not allowed to make eye contact with him backstage. He's he's very demanding.
There is a Hollywood obsession, especially among the females, with the concept of fairness in pay. Right now, I mentioned the 355. Everyone knows that Jessica Chastain fought for equal pay amongst the 3 leads, even though she carried a greater name than I forget who the other 2 actresses were in that movie. But the point is, your name is one of the most important aspects of who you are in Hollywood, and it carries weight and it carries value. Yeah. So you do all this work, you build up your name, or if you're Chris Pratt, you start off on TV, you work your way up to making Guardians of the Galaxy. Now you're helming your own franchise, even though you're an unlikely action hero, to be completely fair. Yeah. He's kind of like a modern day version of like an action hero so far as we allow that to exist. And his name, the work he's done previously, all adds up to what he's worth. And it seems like they have a constant need to degrade what you've worked on in the name of what everyone else deserves. not what you deserve.
Yeah. I mean, it would be one thing if, like Chris Pratt was a second or third character and the lead was like the movie's about Bryce Howard and like he makes a cameo or whatever.
This is actually something I mentioned. I shared that like ridiculous review earlier of like the episode of Hawaii Five-0. Something that happened with that show was the guy who plays Steve McGarrett, Alex O'Loughlin, and Scott Kahn were the leads of that show. They played the leads, and then Daniel Day Kim and Grace Park were secondary.
From Lost?
Yes,
that's right.
So they were secondary characters, and they made obviously Dano, the guy who played Dano, the guy who played Steve, made more money because they'd been the helm of the series for 8 years, and Daniel Day Kim and Grace Park walked away in like season 7 or 8 because they weren't making the same as the stars, which made no sense because at that point it's become an ensemble show, but it's still their names are still the first ones that come up. When you look at the credits, they've built the franchise around those two people, and they walked away and then claimed it was because of discrimination. No.
This makes it worse for women. Like when you are complaining about something that so obviously does not have to do with gender, people take, like, are there cases of women being treated terribly in Hollywood? Yeah. Are there cases of creepy guys in Hollywood? Yes. Are there cases of, maybe a woman should have been being paid more and got, taken, like, yes. All of those things exist. But if these are the stories we're talking about, when those real stories or those real complaints do come up, no one's going to take it seriously because this just sounds like spoiled, privileged crap.
Yep. This was if I have it here, the quote that this guy had talking about them. This is not about obviously the main story. It says, I might not be able to find it here. Okay, so he says, on the departure of Grace Park and Daniel Day Kim from Hawaii Five-0, both actors chose not to extend their contracts. CBS was extremely generous and proactive in their renegotiation talks, so much so that the actors were getting unprecedented raises, but at the end of the day, they chose to move on. No one wanted to see them go. They are irreplaceable. They did the right thing. Even if they felt they were worth more, you can agree or disagree on whether that they were worth as much as they were offered, but they walked away, and that's what you should do. You cannot walk away from the 3-picture deal before the 3 pictures are done.
Yeah, well, what I was gonna say is I think this is sort of an interesting take because Deadline is referencing an interview she did with Business Insider, and it's unclear to me if it looks like they brought it up saying like, well, how do you feel about all the reports that you're getting paid less? And in some ways, like, to her credit, I don't think she has publicly come out and been like, I wasn't paid fairly. She just is being asked, like, this is what bothers me about the way this narrative has become a part of our central conversation. Like, Bryce Dallas Howard isn't even saying that she is unhappy with what she got paid. She did get paid less than Chris Pratt. Yeah. I'm sure everyone wants to earn more money.
So is
but
this
they're
the
asking
media
her,
spinning
right? Well,
it?
and
Yeah.
they're asking her as a female actress to comment on this because they feel like she should be outraged. They want that soundbite. Like, I feel in some ways bad for her because she doesn't even say like, yeah, I felt mad about it. It feels like she's being asked to be a symbolic figure of a wronged woman.
So I remember I interviewed one of the like VPs of PETA, and I don't like PETA. And even when I was vegan, I didn't like PETA.
Me and Mary make fun of PETA all the time.
Yeah, I think a lot of the stories that come out about PETA make vegans look really bad and probably have a bunch of people like spite eating hamburgers, right? But this was really interesting, and it kind of is similar. I asked this guy, I go, hey man, there's so many bad things that everybody can agree on with like factory farming and stuff like that. I mean, hunters agree. I'm friends with Rob Wolf, the best-selling paleo author. He agrees. Why aren't we all talking about factory farms? Why don't? And then this was at the time that a story came out that PETA was outraged because Barack Obama killed a fly. And he goes, what happens is press calls them and they go, how do you feel about Barack Obama killing a fly? And they go, well, we don't really care. We're focusing on this big issue. And they go, right. But if you had to comment on Barack Obama, and finally they just go, I don't know, man, if I have the choice, I'm not going to kill a fly. And then suddenly it's PETA comes out. So a lot of times it is press manipulation.
Yes, the media does an absolute disservice to the actors who might just be trying to mind their own business.
Which, because Bryce is going to look, if I was Chris Pratt and I was trying to help her out and I just see this headline, I'm going to be like, oh, homie, are you throwing me under the bus?
But they know
I bet they don't.
Could be the media.
They know the game.
I mean, I feel
They
like,
know the game,
especially like from what I've understood,
Well,
I've
I'm
only
a
seen,
sensitive snowflake, guys.
but
so
I've
I'd be
only
upset.
seen a couple interviews where they like talk about how their kids hang out. Like they seem to have built a relationship
that's cool.
outside of this. So presumably, you know, they aren't saying like, "How could you say this to me?"
She's
they know
gonna,
each
like,
other
call
well
him
enough.
on the way home. Yeah.
Right. But to a certain extent, this could be true of anyone else who thinks about maybe working with Bryce Dallas Howard. Like, oh, maybe she's going to be a problem and she's going to complain about this. Like,
Right.
I would hate to be forced to be the figurehead of a trendy issue that I actually don't feel involved with. Right.
Yeah. No, it would be cool if she was just like, I made enough.
I mean, what she said, like, was like, yeah, I made significantly less, and then, but also Chris Pratt
Is $2
offered to help me
million
negotiate. So what's the?
Is $2 million significantly less than the dude who's literally the star of the movie?
Right.
I actually disagree on that. Like,
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, she's acknowledging she made less, which she did. I mean, that's what I think. If she tries to lie and be like, no, I made what I earned, all the feminists are going to be like, how could you even say that?
Right. She's kind of in this impossible
Like, she has to respond to
situation.
it. They kind of like, it's like, you know, journalistic entrapment. Like, need her to comment on it, and she has to walk this weird line. I feel bad for her. But in that being said, I have a lot of sympathy for her because she's always seemed perfectly nice in all
Sure.
the interviews I've watched. I have no actual understanding of what she's like.
I actually I love that, like, the guy had to come through and save her on the negotiations
Very
too.
funny.
He's like, don't worry, I'm going to take care of
Oh
it.
yeah,
Don't worry, sweet tits. I got this.
I love traditional gender roles.
This
I'm
is-
all for it.
What I will say is that Chris and I have discussed it, and whenever there was an opportunity to move the needle on stuff that hadn't already been negotiated, like a game or a ride, he literally told me, you guys don't even have to do anything. I'm going to do all the negotiating. We're going to be paid the same, and you don't have to think about this, Bryce. It's like, what is he, your husband?
What a hero.
Like,
Bro,
what a hero,
Every
dude.
time I come on this show, there's a different article about Chris Pratt that's supposed to make you hate him, and it just makes me love him. I think I became religious after the last one where I'm like, if Chris Pratt believes in God, I want to go down that route.
She says, I love him so much for doing that. I like the idea that more that she's like a big Arnold Schwarzenegger fan and like wants to get close to him because he's married to Schwarzenegger's daughter.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I just pictured him swinging in on a rope to negotiate a contract for her and then swinging out.
Like,
But that's like what they're saying. Like, he is this, like, I mean, they're trying to present it as like he's this alpha man who's trying to push her out of negotiations. Girl, she negotiated her first 3 contracts and didn't go that well.
She
That's
did it
why this other stuff
poorly.
matters.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Chris Pratt rules.
when I was-
He's my Chet Hanks.
When I was taking my notes, I just wrote typical Chris Pratt W.
Yeah. Brett, how much do you want Chris Pratt and Keanu Reeves to team up? Because you love nice Keanu Reeves.
I love good guy Keanu stories. I love good guy Pratt stories.
I will
like,
throw up with excitement.
I would like if we could get a Chris Pratt and Keanu bad guy buddy cop movie
Yeah.
where they're
both good cops?
No, they both play dirty cops. Like they both play bad guys.
No, I don't want that.
And then at the end, they're all like, "We're sorry, we're gonna donate to a charity we started."
And all the money goes to like puppies and kittens
And like underserved children.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. That's what their charity.
So
is.
like,
Bryce
what would be-
Dallas Howard.
They would find the most inoffensive charity to give to. Like it's not political. They're like,
No,
we're gonna-
I think
It
they
would be a
both-
shelter. It would be a
I
puppy
think,
shelter.
I'm not even kidding. I think it would be like something to like offer support to underserved children.
I also want to point out this was what made me want to cover this originally was just the framing of the headline. This is just a repeat of the article, but it says Bryce Dallas Howard says that she made so much less than Chris Pratt on the Jurassic World movies, but reveals how her co-lead made things right. Somehow implying that the right thing to do was for him to negotiate less on his own behalf so that she could make more.
I mean, like, I think it's nice of him to be like, no, we're a unit. I'm gonna like advocate for you too. I'm sorry that your agent got you a terrible deal in the beginning. Like, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Oh!
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.